Come on, rap it, Josh.
I don't know the words after this.
Ah, come on. Rewind it then. Rewind it.
I don't know it.
Oh yeah, traded. You can't rewind it.
This place with you, I just can't get you go. One day screaming you love me now, the next day you're so cold. One day you're here, one day you're there.
Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle here with another edition of WNBA Weekly. Here's what happened last week in the association. On Monday, you had Los Angeles at Atlanta. Atlanta played strong from start to finish and were in control for basically the entire game. Behind a double-double from Nneka and a near triple-double from Candace Parker, the Sparks were almost able to fight back, but the dream was just too much as De Souza led the team with a career-high 27 points, and Alex Bentley had her first career double-double with 10 points and a career-high and franchise record 11 assists as Atlanta ends their losing streak and the Sparks winning streak. Then on Wednesday, you had two games. The first one, Indiana at Atlanta, but beyond January sat out with an illness. Erlana Larkins had a double-double, and Tamika Catchings led the team with 22 points and was one rebound short of a double-double. But Erika De Souza had a huge double-double, and Angel McCoughtry was just shy of a triple-double as the Dream win their second straight in order to secure a playoff berth. Then you had Los Angeles at Minnesota. Candace Parker led the way with 25 points and 8 rebounds, but the Lynx were in control the whole time, and behind a double-double from Rebecca Brunson and a career-high 14 assists from Lindsay Whalen, the Lynx win their fifth straight and increased their lead on that number one spot. Now for a few games to look forward to this week, and because playoffs are just around this corner, I'm only concentrating on what playoff implications does each game have. First, on Friday, you've got Washington at Connecticut. The Mystics are still fighting to clinch a playoff spot while Connecticut is fighting for that lottery pick. This game begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my preview is that Washington, they have yet to clinch a playoff berth, but they still have a chance to possibly steal second seed. Or if they keep losing, they could fall down to fourth seed, and nobody in the East wants to be the fourth seed come playoff time. Then you've got Atlanta at New York. Atlanta has clinched the playoff berth but are still fighting to keep their seeding while the Liberty need to win to avoid elimination. This game begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that New York is on the edge of elimination, and while I feel like they have no hope at all, and I have a feeling they're still going to come out firing, Atlanta has gotten back to winning and has clinched the playoff berth, but too many losses could have them falling down in the seeding. Then you've got Los Angeles at Tulsa. Tulsa has been eliminated, but they still look to play spoiler against the Sparks team that is still hoping to steal that number one seed. This game will air on NBA TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that Tulsa has matched up well with Los Angeles, and the Sparks can't afford too many more losses if they want to keep their hopes of that top seed alive. And then you've got Indiana at Chicago. Chicago has clinched the number one seed in the East, but is still in the battle for that number one overall record, while the Fever are simply hoping to clinch a playoff spot. This game begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that the Fever should only need one or two wins or one or two more losses from New York in order to clinch that playoff appearance, while the Sky, they have home field advantage over everyone but the Lynx right now, and there's no guarantee that those two teams will meet in the finals, so it's hard to gauge how much importance this game will actually hold. Then again, try telling these women that. Then you've got San Antonio at Phoenix, and it's very simple. If Phoenix wins this game, they will get that final playoff spot in the West. The only other important thing you need to know is that this game begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we move on to Saturday, where we've got Connecticut at Indiana. The Sun are hoping to play spoiler as the Fever are hoping to clinch a playoff berth. This game will air on NBA TV at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that, depending on what happens Friday, the Fever could already be in the playoffs, or this could be the one to clinch it for them. Then you got Minnesota at Seattle, a potential first-round preview as the Lynx are looking to clinch that first seed while the Storm are looking to climb up into the third. This game begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that for the Lynx, it is simple. Keep winning and they get the number one spot. If Seattle can keep winning, they have a decent chance to get into that third spot. The way it stands right now, though, potential first-round preview if the standings don't change. Then on Sunday, you've got Phoenix at Atlanta, and the only thing I'm going to say about this matchup is that while playoffs are pretty much guaranteed for both of these teams, they are still fighting for seeding. So this game begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you've got Chicago at Washington. The Sky are looking to get the best record in the league, while the Mystics are hoping to clinch a playoff berth and possibly climb into the 2nd seed. This game begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that this is the game Washington does not want to lose, because if they lose too often before the season is over, this will end up being a first-round preview. And then you've got Tulsa at San Antonio. There is a possibility that the Stars will not be eliminated yet, in which case they have no option but to win this. This game begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that it is very likely that this game will hold no importance outside of draft picks, but I will never tell you not to watch the game, so check it out if you get the chance. Well, that's it for this week. Tune in on Monday for another all-new edition of WNBA Weekly, and until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. Have a great weekend.